Yeah, disappointing result in the end, but very proud of the team, proud of my staff, like Andre, Daniel Dyer. Like, they put amazing work into the lads, and the effort and work ethic from the coaching staff has been brilliant. And I'm proud that in our first season we took it all the way to the last game. You know, at one point we thought the league had slipped. So to go on a run, I think it was 6 games undefeated, and also take it to the last game. I'm proud of the lads to achieve that. And you know, I felt first half on chances we could have been 3 up, and I don't think that would have flattered us if we were 3 up. We had 3, 4, 5 good chances, good situations that we should have capitalised on. And so it was disappointing that we didn't go in with more than one goal at half time. And I felt in terms of them, you know, they didn't create any chances in the first half. The only situations they had were from corners, and I felt even the corner they got, it was disappointing because I felt, you know, from the situation it was, you know, I think one of our players took a bad touch and the ball's gone off for a corner, and that's the situations that we thought, you know, if they were going to try and get goal scoring scenarios, it was going to be from those sort of situations, corners or free kicks. So I was disappointed to give away a corner when we didn't need to, and then disappointed with our marking. You know, back post, they had an experienced defender that pulled off back post, but I still felt with what we had, we should have dealt with that better. But, you know, to go in at 1-1, it's still 1-1. I said to the lads, listen, you know, you've created so many chances this half. We felt that the only way that they were probably going to get into the game again was through us making a mistake or, you know, conceding free kicks or corners. And that was the case. You know, unfortunately, you know, Lobbs has thrown out the ball, and a bit of naivety, rather than maybe playing the ball down the line or protecting it, we tried to cut inside in our own half from a throw from a keeper, and you know, they've had a through run on goal and scored. So it's disappointing to concede a goal like that. And then I think once they got up, you know, they used their experience, and you know, they had like a lot of influence, I felt, on the game with the referee from the sideline. I do feel the ref could have dealt with that a little bit better in terms of, you know, they had a lot of people on the sideline and in the dugout. And whereas we were always told to have 2 standing up, at times there was 5 or so, 4, 5, 7 people sort of in and around the dugout, and you know, standing up and influencing the game. But you know, that is part of the game where we feel like our lads have to learn from that, and you know, they use their experience to kind of get the result. Where I think some of our lads, we talked to them at the end of the game, that's where, while we've individually and talent-wise, we've got a very good dressing room, some of them need to learn about the other side of the game. You know, some of them are getting maybe wound up a bit too easily, went off their boil a bit of the game, and I think second half it was very scrappy, but we allowed it to get like that because we got sucked into things that we shouldn't have, and should have kept playing. But like, the big thing from this is all about experience, and while we would have liked to add the ice on the cake and won the title, at the same time you're trying to teach these young players about things that are going to help them with their careers going forward. And sometimes in defeat, I like to think you learn more about yourselves and about mistakes or situations you make in defeat. So some of the maybe naive errors that we made in the game, there'll be things that will live with some of the players in their minds for a long time, but you hope that those errors are things that they learn from. Or when you get chances, be more clinical. When you're in dangerous situations, don't overplay on the ball where you can lose it. And you know, if you win the game, people forget about those mistakes, but if you lose it, it stays with you. So you hope that this is all about educating these players, that they learn from it, and you know, you accept the defeat graciously, you know, and move on. You know, I think I'm happy with the fact that we played the game. We didn't have any first team players, and we kept the same squad that we had. You know, and they were quite honest after the game, admittedly so. You know, they had 3 or so more first team players with experience that they got to play in the game. And they did say as well, which was admitting of them that they know that we're probably the best team in the league, and the way that they felt that they could maybe get into us at half time was to get in our faces, was to make it difficult. And that's where our lads need to learn. But I would also say at the end of the day, it's about winning. And they beat us at home and they beat us away. So I know it's nice of them to say we were the better team, but at the same time, you have to learn how to win games. And I think that's where some of our lads have to learn and brush themselves off. And ultimately, listen, it's been an amazing season, a fantastic achievement to get to where we got to from where we started with no pre-season and just trying to pull players in together, starting games with 10 men sometimes or one sub. So to run it all to the end of the season with one game to go, brilliant achievement from the players and the staff. And look, we've still got a cup final, so we've kind of run the last game to the last game of the season, and also we've got a cup final to play for. So ultimately, I think it's been a fantastic season, and hopefully we can finish it with some silverware of the cup. And that's what we try and turn our attentions to now. Try and dust ourselves off, pick the lads up, and go forward for the cup game.